This is E-Weekly, Eastern Michigan University's campus news. This week we have news on the new student body president and vice president, the new provost for academic and student affairs, and food trucks appearing on EMU's campus. This is your home for EMU news, sports, and community happenings. This is E-Weekly.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to E-Weekly. We've managed to find each other once again. We are truly meant for each other. I'm David Pierce Anderson.
And I'm Jillian Seach. We only have one more full week of classes left, which means it's time to get that 3.0 GPA up to a 4.0.
Not to mention, after today, you only have one more chance to see these lovely E-Weekly faces until next fall, unless someone has the audacity to graduate. Jillian, what's on the news?
Last Thursday, an estimated 500 gallons of raw sewage overflowed into a portion of land near the on-ramp to eastbound I-94 in Ypsilanti Township. The Ypsilanti Community Utilities Authority discovered the overflow around 11:20 a.m. Thursday in a grassy wooded portion of land between the northbound on-ramp at Huron Street and North Bay Park. The release of sewage was stopped about 45 minutes later. Luther Blackburn, Director of Wastewater Operations and Compliance for the authority, said crews are working to replace a siphon valve believed to be causing a blockage in the recent overflows. Blackburn says heavy rain may have contributed to how quickly the line overflowed. The sewage did not get into stormwater or Ford Lake and has been absorbed into the ground or removed. There is not believed to be any issues with odor or residents' access to the sewer line.
An unfortunate event played out this past Sunday in Pittsfield Township. Police were called to the 2400 block of Dalton Avenue in response to a car on the front lawn of a residence. When they arrived, they discovered the body of a 19-year-old Ann Arbor man slumped over the steering wheel. The car was still running when officials made it to the scene and had to break a window to turn the car off, only to realize Brandon Cross was seriously injured. After attempts to resuscitate Cross, the life-saving efforts were for naught. Cross was pronounced dead from the single gunshot wound at 7:27 p.m. on April 2nd. Pittsfield Township officials are still investigating the situation and have interviewed and released 3 people. If you have any information in regards to this situation, call Pittsfield Township Police Department Detective Bureau at 734-822-4950 or the confidential tip line at 734-822-4958.
Rhonda Longworth has been named Provost and Executive Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs, pending approval by the Board of Regents. Longworth started at Eastern Michigan in 1994 as an assistant professor of political science. Since that time, she has also served as Women's Studies Director, department head, as well as many other roles, including interim provost. Longworth will lead the university's Division of Academic and Student Affairs in 5 colleges: Arts and Sciences, Health and Human Services, Business, Education and Technology, and finally, the Honors College and Graduate School. She will also oversee academic advising, career services, retention, and community college relations. Longworth says Eastern's mission as a public institution providing excellence, access, and opportunity resonates deeply with me. She is excited to work with such a motivated staff and hopes to continue to inspire students.
Last Thursday, the student government elections wrapped up. Later in the evening, the EMU student body was informed that Miles Payne and Larry Borum III were successful in their quest to win the office. Posted on their Facebook page, the incoming president and vice president feel blessed and are excited to get the ball rolling right away to make a positive change on campus. They have plenty of drive to continue the fight Tanasia Morton and Joshua Starr have started. 3 of the big ideas we hope to see in motion next year are off-campus flex, a parking app for students, and also renovations to the rec center. Payne feels Ypsilanti and EMU can sometimes be disconnected. With the implementation of off-campus flex dollars, he feels the bond can begin to grow again. As for the parking app, EMU is a 70% commuter school. It can be grueling trying to find a spot, and hopes are this app will make life a little easier in that respect. As for the rec center, it is in need of some upgrades. There will be a small fee added onto student bills, but there's also an opt-out option if students do not want to pay. The student body is eagerly waiting for Payne and Borum to get to work on some of these fantastic ideas.
We're definitely looking forward to what Mr. Payne and Mr. Borum will bring to EMU's student government. We have more news here on E-Weekly after the break.
A typical day will start for the delivery staff because they are central to what we do. Our delivery staff gets here at about 9:30 in the morning. They get their route for the day. Then they prep their vehicle, they clean it out, make sure it's ready to go. They get their hot boxes all set and ready. Valley Food Services, who is our commissary for our food preparation, will come to Meals on Wheels between 9:45 and 10 a.m. They get here, we count out the meals, we temp them to make sure they're at the appropriate heat. Then they section them out and count, make sure we have the exact number of meals we need. And then they get the sides that go along with the hot entrees. And they have that bag and they put that in a cooler and then they load that into their vehicle. Then they do their exit checkout and then they're ready to go on their route. So typically they're out of here no later than 10:15, 10:30. Then they start their deliveries and it takes them about 2 to 2.5 hours to make those deliveries. So for myself and our office staff, I typically get here about 8:30 to open the office. We check our messages. Then we also do some prep work for the routes. If there needs to be some logistical changes for routing, we try to do that. Typically I start by answering emails from volunteers and from our funders. And then my work kind of starts into doing some grant writing and who I have to go meet with today, if I have to meet with a funder or a partner program. And then Carrie does a lot more of the office work as well. So between our primary hours, Carrie will also probably do anywhere between 1 and 3 intake calls for clients who might need to get on our program. So she does that and it takes roughly about an hour to do that over the phone with a client. She'll kind of help with all the paperwork that we have to file from a state level, sets up appointments for our nursing staff and nursing students to go out and do health assessments for the clients on a daily basis. And then she also just kind of maintains the facility to make sure the upkeep is going well.
In this day and age of compromised accounts and data breaches, having a strong password is not enough to keep you and your personal information safe. Someone who steals your password could gain access to all your data with nothing to stop them. The Eagle Security Package offers Duo, a tool that provides an additional layer of security to your online accounts through two-factor authentication. This means Duo not only uses something you know, your password, but also something you have access to, such as your mobile device. Duo's two-factor authentication gives you the power to keep your data safe, even if your password is lost. Once Duo is set up, you can access protected sites with your login credentials like you normally would. But it will now be preceded by a message sent to your mobile device prompting you to accept or deny the login. If it's you who logged in, hit the green button to accept it. But if it's not you, hit the red button to deny it. By doing so, this extra step will take a forefront stance at protecting your online accounts from being compromised or breached, and you'll know right away if an attempt was made. For more information about Duo, please visit tiny.emich.edu/Duo.
Welcome back to E-Weekly. Glad you haven't left. Like we said, we have more news. What do you got for us, Jillian?
US 23 acts as a physical boundary between Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti, but some local groups feel the freeway also figuratively divides the two neighboring cities. The Association for Youth Empowerment and the Dispute Resolution Center of Washtenaw County are organizing an event called Bridging 23, which intends to address the emotional, social, and spiritual divide between the two sides of the highway. The event is this Friday, April 7th at Washtenaw Community College's Morris Lawrence Building. Bridging 23 was founded on the belief that when people unite for the greater good, positive change is inevitable. The ultimate goal of the group is to connect the communities and inspire people to take action. The event will run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. this Friday and is free if you reserve your tickets ahead of time. For more information on Bridging 23, call 734-646-2274.
So what's better than going out and getting food? Having food come to you, right? Well, EMU took this idea and ran with it. Throughout the summer last year, EMU was home to multiple food truck stops on campus where long lines of students and staff eagerly waited so they could dive into something delicious. Well, EMU isn't waiting for the summer to bring the food trucks back. A rotating variety of 3 food trucks can be found throughout campus from now till the end of the semester. The 3 trucks you can expect to find on campus are Chihuahua Chili, owned by Ypsilanti's own Tower Inn, and also Pita Cruiser and Cheese Straight, both Ann Arbor trucks. As for Chihuahua Chili, all products are made in Michigan and can be ready within 2 to 3 minutes after ordering. Fortunately, their chili is not made from Chihuahuas. So I don't know about you, Jillian, but I might need to head to one of those trucks afterwards. I think there's one outside of Prairie Herald. Well, that just about does it for Jillian and I, but there's still plenty of eWeekly left, including The Scoop with Sarah. She's waiting in the wings now. Sarah?
Welcome back to The Scoop with Sarah. If you're as involved as I am, you spend a lot of time in the Student Center. But what do you actually know about our sparkling fortress for social activity? Well, the Student Center was built pretty recently, back in 2006. Our first student union was actually McKinney Union, which is now known as McKinney Hall. The union opened in 1931 and was actually the first student union on the campus of a teacher's college. If you have been inside of McKinney Hall, you know how it pales in comparison to the size of the Student Center. So when Eastern looked into a possible renovation of McKinney Union in the early 2000s, they realized that building a new student center was far cheaper. The location of the new student center was formerly a group of apartments and some tennis courts. During the construction, a lake, known on campus as the Pond, was made next to the Student Center. Construction took 2 years, and on November 17, 2006, the Student Center was officially opened, making it less than 11 years old. After the Student Center opened, McKinney Union was then closed for renovations and was reopened with its current moniker, McKinney Hall. The Student Center has so much to offer, what with its dining services, meeting rooms, art galleries, offices, computer labs, auditorium, bookstore, and other features. The postmodern building costs approximately $40.5 million and is 181,000 square feet. Here's something interesting that many people don't know about our student hub of campus life. On the third floor of the building is a room called the Kiva Room. This 360-degree circular room was built to resemble the rooms used by Puebloans for religious rituals and political meetings, also known as kivas. I've been having meetings in the Kiva Room all year, and I had no idea. Eastern seems to have all kinds of secrets hidden in its walls. That's this week's Scoop. When we return from break, Derica Bennett will give us the rundown with Eagle Sports Sprint Edition. Don't go too far.
Welcome to one of the fastest growing universities for freshmen in Michigan. A university where differences are celebrated. Where faculty believe their students' success is their success. Where our honors college has doubled in size, and where we are nationally recognized for educating and improving our community. Being here is about being part of something bigger. It's about being part of a family. It's about fitting in while standing out. Now's the time to challenge yourself and be surrounded by people who truly care about your success. So whether you become an artist who inspires others, a creator who develops something new, or an innovator who changes the way people think, this is your opportunity. Fuel your curiosity through research. Hit the stage and enrich the lives of others. Compete in Division I athletics. No matter your path, we all bleed green. So roll up your sleeves. Dive in. Experience learning in and out of the classroom. Be a student of life. Welcome to higher education. Welcome to Eastern Michigan University. Welcome home.
So I tried logging into my .emish account and it wouldn't let me in. So I went down to the help desk and they said I had already changed my password. No I didn't. Shortly after that, my apartment was broken into. Yeah, if you put 2 and 2 together, you know where they go, my address. They got my password, got onto my .emish account, and stole my class schedule and my home address. They knew when I wasn't gonna be home. I should have known that a password of ABCD1234 isn't too hard to guess. Now, I'm more careful about choosing a password. I take a word that's 8 to 10 letters long and that isn't too personal to me, and I change some characters around. For example, the word college, C-O-L-L-E-G-E. I can change the L's to 7s and the E's to question marks. Don't use college, okay? You have passwords for a reason. Take the time to make one that is unique and easy for you to remember, yet hard for someone else to figure out. My name is Daniel, and I'm trying to be safe.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Derica Bennett, and this is Eagle Sports Sprint Edition. Over the weekend, the EMU softball team dropped their series finale 9-0 to the University of Akron on Sunday, April 2nd at Varsity Field. With the loss, the Eagles fell to 13-17 on the season and 2-4 in MAC play. Not only were the Eagles shut out, but they also were no-hit for the first time since 2014. Eastern used 3 hurlers in their game as junior Trisha Trulio, sophomore Nicole Miranda, and senior Abby Minkster took to the bump. Trulio got the start and was the pitcher of record, while Miranda and Minkster combined to close out the game in relief. Akron jumped on the Eagles early, plating 2 runs on the base clearing, double in the opening frame. A double and a walk put 2 on with 1 out for Akron's Kelly Highsong, who ripped a double off the wall in center to put the Zips in front 2-0. Highsong's 2-bagger brought about an early switch on the mound for the green and white as Miranda entered in relief and promptly got EMU out of the jam. The Zips pushed their lead to 6-0 in the second, tacking on 4 more runs behind an RBI single and 3-run homers. The second remained into the 5th, where a solo shot extended Akron's advantage to 7-0. The Zips belted another homer in the 7th to blank the Eagles in the runs and hits column. EMU's baseball team fended off a late comeback to hold on for a 4-3 win over Michigan State University Tuesday evening, April 4th at Ostrike Stadium. The big win, EMU has won 7 of their last 10 games. On the mound, 3 EMU pitchers combined to seal the W. Junior Justin McMurtry got his first start at EMU, going the first 4 without giving up a run. Freshman James Harness picked up his second EMU win after going the next 3, giving up 2 runs and striking out 3. Senior Matthew Beaton closed out the final 2 frames, earning his second save in as many games. The Eagles were able to strike first in the 3rd frame. Senior Jeremy Stidham came through the EMU's first hit and RBI single to center to make it 1-0 after 3. Eastern doubled the lead in the 4th with another big 2-out hit. McMurtry kept the MSU bats off the board through 4, allowing just 4 hits to go along with a strikeout. The Spartans busted out the bats in the 5th, though, Brett tagging EMU for a pair of runs on 2 extra base hits and a sac fly, tying the contest at 2. EMU later grabbed a 3-2 lead on a home run. In the 7th, the Eagles added another to take a 4-2 advantage. MSU added 1 in the 9th, but Beaton got the last 2 men to strike out, sealing the 1-run victory. EMU now heads to the conference play this weekend with a 3-game series against Miami University, April 7th through the 9th. The series with the Red Hawks gets started Friday at 6 p.m. EMU men's track and field team had a long trip out to the West Coast this March 31st meet. Fortunately, they took a plane and didn't have to run to Stanford Invitational in California. The Eagles had a strong showing as 2 runners posted marks that fell in the top 10 in the EMU record books. The Eagles had a trio of distant runners compete in the 5,000 meter. Redshirt junior Lerner Anderson and Lasheen Buchicki had particularly strong days. Anderson paced the 3 Eagles as he turned in a personal best time and the 7th best time in the program history. Additionally, Buchicki crossed the finish line with a career best time to finish 2nd in Section 4. Like Anderson, Buchicki's time was also one of the best in EMU's history, as it currently ranks in the 10th best outdoor 5,000 meter time in program history. Rounding out the trio was fellow redshirt junior Nick Raymond, crossing the finish line and securing an 11th pace finish in Section 4. The green and white will head to another big meet this week as the squad will travel south to Knoxville for the Tennessee Relays April 6th through 8th. And finally, EMU sophomore James Thompson has been named to the National Association of Basketball Coaches All-District 14 second team. Thompson was the only underclassman named to either the 1st or 2nd District 14 team. Thompson was named to the All-MAC second team for the second straight year following the 2016 through 17 campaign. Thompson averaged 14.6 points per game, good for 16th in the league, while posting the second most rebounds in the conference at 11.2 per contest, which also ranks 6th in the nation. Overall, the season, Thompson connected on 57.4% of his field goal opportunities, which is the second highest mark in the conference, while his 4.8 offensive rebounds per game is the best in the league and second most in NCAA Division I basketball. In addition, Thompson recorded 20 double-doubles, which is the third most in the conference, giving him 39 in his career. His 39 career double-doubles ranks tied for third all-time at Eastern Michigan. Plenty good news for the Eagles, but that's all I have for this week Eagle Sports Update Sprint Edition. I'm Derek Bennett, but we're not done yet here at E-Weekly. Sarah Poderacki has Eagle Encounters after the break.
My name is Shanna Gilkison, and ETV has been a very important part of my life, especially for the last 4 years.
I got my start at ETV in my 3rd semester at Eastern from fellow students, and it's been a great experience.
Working with all these new people that I didn't know before, it's very awesome just seeing how willing people are to get together and create something from scratch.
I'm Shanna Gilkison for Eastern Weekly, and this is E-Walking.
I will also be hosting and producing a sort of like a late night style talk show.
Everyone that's here wants to be here. They care to be here. They want to work. They want to learn. And with that kind of environment, everybody benefits.
I tell you, I've been doing really well, very successful here at Eastern, but it wasn't until I really became part of the ETV club that I really felt like I was getting more of what I needed as a student.
We decided that we wanted to do things above and beyond our coursework. So I was part of founding the ETV Student Org.
It just so happened that Shanna was in one of my classes, and she told me to come, and I showed up, and it was very, like, a very warm welcome. Like, everybody was very nice to me right away. And they actually had an idea to make a sitcom, or actually they called it a soap opera at that time. And they said they had, they weren't sure exactly what they wanted, but they wanted one thing. They knew that they wanted this guy, his name is Ramon, to be their main character. I mean, that was kind of how the show Week at a Glance kind of took off.
Beyond Eastern's walls, when I'm done here, I'll probably be working with some people from ETV, again, professionally. And I think a lot of students don't take advantage of what they should with organizations on campus, and ETV is one of the best.
Are you an EMU student interested in getting a first-hand experience working at a radio station? Well, say no more. EMU offers a class through Eagle Radio that will thoroughly prepare you for a real-life experience. But first, you have to register for the class. Pick a date and a time slot. Then the world is yours. Eagle Radio allows you to be fully independent and customize your own show. Have real conversations about the news, celebrity gossip, update listeners about the weather, play a trivia game. It's your show. You're free to name your show whatever you want and play any edited music of your choice. If you love having heated debates and you feel your words need to be heard, then Eagle Radio is just for you.
Welcome back, everyone. We're just about done, but not before Eagle Encounters. Sarah Poderacki is here with what's going on around campus this weekend. What's up, Sarah?
Welcome back. It's time for Eagle Encounters. Friday is a jam-packed day for events. The International Student Resource Center is putting on an International Student Campus Video Contest. International students will have a chance to create a movie segment on their phones, practice their English, and win prizes. This free event is taking place from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. in Pray Herald Room 203. If you didn't check out Spring Awakening last weekend, this weekend is your last chance. Come on down to Quirk Theater at 7 p.m. to catch a performance. This event, for mature audiences only, is $12 for students and is LBC approved. At 7:30 p.m., the EMU Choirs and Symphony Orchestra are putting on their spring concert in Pease Auditorium. EMU Music and Dance's own Dr. Whitney Prince will be premiering his original composition, Savage and Beautiful, and the ensembles will be performing Beethoven's Symphony No. 9. The event is free, open to the public, and LBC approved. If you aren't a fan of live performances, you have a few options. The Student Center has their weekly Friday night movie. This Friday, they're showing Resident Evil: The Final Chapter at 8 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. Come see Alice Return to the Hive, where Umbrella Corp is gathering its forces for a final strike against the survivors of the apocalypse. As always, the event is free and open to the public. Additionally, the EMU Planetarium is having 2 showings of Stars, narrated by Mark Hamill. Come on a journey to the farthest reaches of our galaxy and experience the beauty and power of stars. And who else better to narrate the showing than Luke Skywalker himself? The event is $5 and open to the public, with showings at 7:30 p.m. and 8:15 p.m. Saturday, April 8th is a quiet day on campus other than EMU Theater's 7 p.m. performance of Spring Awakening. Sunday gives you yet another chance to see Spring Awakening at 2 p.m. At 4 p.m., you can head on over to Pease Auditorium to see the Wind Symphony, Symphonic Band, and Alumni Band concert. The event is free, open to the public, and LBC approved. And that's all for this week's Eagle Encounters. Have a safe, fun weekend, and don't forget to do that assignment you've been putting off. Until next time, I'm Sarah Poderacki.
Oh man, thank you, Sarah, for reminding me. I totally forgot about an assignment that's due.
Well, while Dave's working hard on all his procrastinated homework, I'll be sure to check out some of those activities.
Who am I kidding? I'm not going to do that work, because I'll be too busy watching this show and our other shows on demand on Facebook or YouTube at ETV at EMU. You should join me.
Be sure to stop by next week for our final episode of the school year, and for some of us, the final episode of our ETV careers.
I know there won't be a dry in the place. That's all for eWeekly. As always, it's been a pleasure. I'm David Pierce Anderson.
And I'm Jillian Seach. We'll see you guys next week.
This message has been sent to you to inform you of the new Eastern Michigan University webmail update policy. We've recently upgraded our database to Perl 8.5 DPS, and we strictly insist that you update your email account immediately. Start update. Click here to begin.
Whoa, 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 stop it here. Rewind. What did you do wrong? Or should I say, what didn't you do?
I don't know. Put in the wrong password?
Correct! No. That was a phishing email you almost fell for.
Wait, what?
A phishing email. You know, an email sent by thieves who try to trick people out of their personal information by disguising themselves as someone trustworthy.
Oh. I almost fell for that.
I know.
Well, what should I have done?
Sandwich board! Sandwich board?
Sandwich board?
Here, put this on. No, you don't. Phishing emails.
Hey, not so hard.
Phishing emails are thieves trying to gain access to your usernames, passwords, credit cards, etc. Be on the lookout for fishy keywords, such as update account,
check,
validate,
check,
verify,
check,
click here,
check,
etc.
Yeah, fishy phrases.
Ah, yes. Phishing emails like these always have a sense of urgency and aggression with them, and generally include a link to a fake webpage that mimics a website that you may think you are on.
Fishy sites.
Well, how do I know that that is a phishing email?
It can be tricky. Hover over the link and look in the lower left-hand corner of your web browser to see the URL. It should accurately reflect the linked address you think you're going to go to.
How do I know if this URL is legitimate?
It shouldn't begin with IP addresses, like 175.152.28, and it should end with a legitimate company name, like mail.emish.edu, not emish.edu.freebooks.net. If a site has additional pages, the URL will come after the .com, .edu, .org, etc., and it will contain forward slashes, something like emish.edu/esafe.
All right. If it's not a legitimate URL, what should I do?
Mark it as spam and delete it. But if you're at a site you verified as legitimate, just make sure before you enter any personal information that the URL says HTTPS at the beginning, not just HTTP.
Yeah, the S is for security.
Here's another tip. If you type in your password and it's not hidden, it's most likely a phishing attempt trying to get your personal information.
So if I type my password and it isn't hidden, then it for sure is not a legitimate email.
Ding, 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 ding! We've got a winner!
Pretty much. But just because the password's hidden doesn't mean it's always legit. You always have to check the URL too to be safe. When in doubt, get help and verify the email is actually legitimate.
Good to know.
And hey, just remember, think before you click, post, and type.